other news that came out from so-called Western Tuesday. People had to wait in very long lines. What does that say about voting access?
This election campaign has highlighted a lot of strange moments just in our political structure overall, to say the least. But the voting apparatus is really broken in a lot of places, and it's I mean, for the most part, the returns have come in fairly quickly. But the fact that people would have to wait in great lines in a lot of the states, we've seen this, like, we're going to keep the polls open, or we're bringing in these provisional ballots. It's a very rickety structure, and it hasn't. It needs to improve.
And there seems to be some evidence that the structure has been made more rickety. And if you're a Democrat, you would say that, on the whole, Republican-controlled state legislatures have set out to make the structures more rickety. So if you look at a place like Maricopa County in Arizona, which is obviously a heartland for Donald Trump on the Republican side, but it's also full of minority, particularly Hispanic voters on the Democratic side. And you had, I think, 4 or 5 hour waits for some people to cast ballots in Maricopa County. You saw some reporting from there that in this election, the number of polling stations has been dramatically reduced by the Republican state legislature. And there is a clear allegation on the Democratic side, including from Hillary Clinton, that this is part of a deliberate pattern of trying to have low turnouts, that the Republicans believe they do better when there are small, low turnouts, and it's difficult to vote.
And part of the problem is that every state sets its own election rules and how they vote. So there is no federal standard for how ballots are cast, what kind of machines they use. I mean, it is 50 separate states, often operating under 50 separate systems. Some states only do mail-in ballots. Some states do a combination of electronic voting. I mean, the standards are so scattered that it's really hard to put order into a system like that.
I'm wondering if we're going to see a call for perhaps a federal standard for voting. Everyone's shaking their head.
There's long been a call for a federal standard of voting in this country, and as long as I would say Republicans control Congress, it does not have a chance.
Okay. Before we leave politics.